All right. So on this Thursday, July the 2nd of 2026, backers of Initiative 26-645, the Initiative to the People now, are turning in boxes of petition sheets. You may have seen some folks gathering signatures in recent weeks outside grocery stores or at rest stops. There's a great number of people that have signed those petitions in a very short amount of time. We're going to be heading to Tumwater this afternoon, so we'll bring you updates next week on just how many they turn in. I will be posting an article this afternoon on our Center Square Washington page as well with that update. But they are hoping to turn in well more than they need to qualify. They need about 309,000 valid voter signatures to be certified by the Secretary of State in order to qualify for the ballot this November. And of course, they want to get way more than that because there are some duplicate signers, folks that aren't actually registered voters that sign, and those get tossed out by the Secretary of State's office. So we'll see just how many they end up turning in today. And then the Secretary of State starts poring over those. They don't look at all of them. They actually take sort of a random sampling and then they extrapolate that out to say, yeah, we're getting about a 82% validation rate. And so based on how many you turned in, we can say you've got more than enough to qualify. But we've been talking for months about wealth flight, business flight. Lots of very wealthy individuals, business executives have said since the income tax was signed into law, we're out of here or we're going to expand to another state. And one of those that we spoke to recently was Janicki Industries, and they are expanding a massive expansion. They're based in Cedar Woolley, and then they have some other locations in the area. But their major expansion plans are right now taking place in Great Falls, Montana, instead of somewhere in Washington state. Janicki focuses on high end aerospace, defense, marine, space sectors. And again, currently those locations here in Washington include Cedar Woolley and Mount Vernon, Bellingham as well. But now they're expanding in Montana. And I spoke with Janicki's communications and education outreach manager, Nick Lavaca, about their need for more space to expand and why they're not doing it here.
All of those take money. And so we need capital to invest back in. Sometimes the state feels that they can spend the money better, but we feel that we can actually spend the money really well and create jobs that are good paying jobs that provide people with savings, ability to go to college, send their kids to college, buy a little piece of property, or a big piece of property if they like the ranch style, and have those opportunities. So there's a lot of things that other states like Montana and Idaho offer that Washington right now is not offering.
Now, supporters of the newly passed income tax progressives have amassed quite a war chest for the fight between now and November's election. That's just 4 months away. So you're going to start to see the ads on both sides of this. Certainly, now that the income tax repeal effort is turned in, what's expected to be more than enough signatures today to get qualified for the ballot. But Washington Education Association President Larry Delaney put up a video targeting Let's Go Washington's founder, Brian Haywood. That was put up yesterday. Here's that video.
Washington has one of the most upside down tax codes in the nation, where the wealthy few don't pay what they truly owe, and the rest of us, nurses, teachers, construction workers, have to foot the bill. Initiative 645 is bankrolled by a greedy hedge fund mogul named Brian Haywood, who moved here from California to shield his massive fortune from taxes. The last time he attempted to give himself a big tax cut through a deceptive initiative, we resoundingly said no. Now, he's at it again, trying to convince Washingtonians that cutting his taxes will somehow benefit us. Once again, he's trying to buy himself a tax cut at the expense of our children, schools, and healthcare with Initiative 645. Here's the truth. Initiative 645 will blow a $13 billion hole in our state's budget, resulting in devastating cuts to education, healthcare, and human services. Our schools are already struggling with overcrowded classrooms, and middle-class families are feeling the impacts of the affordability crisis. I-645 would take money from our schools and send housing and healthcare costs skyrocketing. But that's not all. It would take away funding from childcare, raise taxes on small businesses and working families, and eliminate universal school lunches. Can you imagine being so greedy that you want more kids to go hungry so that you can have $11 million a year instead of $10 million a year? That's exactly what Initiative 645 would do. Washingtonians said no to Haywood and his greed before, and we're going to do it again by voting no on Initiative 645. Together, we can stand up for middle-class families and send a message that it's time mega millionaires and billionaires pay what they truly owe our state.
So we are headed to Tumwater this afternoon for that turn-in event with Let's Go Washington. So we'll be able to bring you an update in my article to be published on our Center Square Washington page today, and much more to come on this as well. Backers of the um, the lawsuit contending that the income tax is unconstitutional will also be attending that event. So we'll be speaking with Jackson Maynard and Citizen Action Defense Fund. So we'll be able to share an update on the lawsuit as well in our episodes coming up next week.